Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we kindly ask that you remark your attention immediately.
It's the Phoenix Rising FC season finale here in the Valley of the Sun. It'll be the same location for the first round of the 2018 USL Cup playoffs for Phoenix. However, without 3 points tonight against Portland Timbers 2, the number 2 seed and 2 home playoff matches is in jeopardy. But we are celebrating the final regular season match for Didier Drogba. And with that, we welcome you fieldside before tonight's match. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr. So glad that you can join us. And Devin, what a spectacular stage we have set here tonight. But at the end of the day, they need to get a result.
Amazing stuff. They got to get back on track. It's been rough the past 2 games. Goalkeeper Dallas J said it best. The midweek debacle that was Las Vegas Lights combined with the red carpet that has been rolled out for Didier Drogba is the perfect springboard for this game beyond 2018 USL Cup playoffs.
And with that, we'll take a look at the Western Conference table. And Devin, we talked about all the movement that's possible west of the Mississippi. Right now, Reno actually with a 2-goal lead over Orange County. There's just a dizzying amount of possibilities. Phoenix have 4 potential playoff opponents in the first round.
T2 on a skid. They could drop all the way to 8th. There are just so many of the results have any impact on this last match day. Anthony Pulis and his boys are in a dogfight versus Steve Cook and OKC Energy. And how about Darren Powell? They are taking on RGV 1-1 in the latter portion of that game. All of these guys are fighting for their lives.
And heading into tonight's match, both of these teams, Devin, are in similar boats where in their past 2 matches, they have not been able to garner a win. However, when we talk about teams going into their final steps of the 2018 regular season, it might be nice to have a humbling moment or two before the playoffs.
For both squads, they've really been lacking that clinical execution in the final third. For Phoenix, if you didn't see it, midweek was not good. Vegas, it was difficult. They went into a hostile environment. They came out without 3 points. T2, better form, no results.
Well, better form, and they have a lot of talent on this 18 tonight, specifically in the 11. We're going to have a Dyron Espria sighting, but Jack Barbie has benefited a lot from Langsdorff's offensive production.
Rick Shantz is going to have his work cut out for him with his squad because when you have 2 offensive talents like that opposite each other field, absolutely fantastic. Watch for Barbie to get down into the channels. Long balls played into the box with the trailing runs by the 9s.
And it's the King's last speech tonight, so of course we are going to highlight the King. Didier Drogba, his resume need not be stated tonight, but if they are going to get a win and go into the postseason with a lot of confidence, Didier scoring, I feel like it starts there.
It would blow this place into the absolute stratosphere and give them the momentum they're looking for the playoff race. Didier Drogba has reached a point in his career where he is going to give you 4 or 5 glimpses of brilliance. Now it's up to the supporting cast and the Phoenix Rising youngsters to get on the bus and get it going.
Well, the stage is set and then some for the regular season finale for Phoenix Rising Football Club. 3 points, and they are locked in as the 2 seed. T2 need a winner. They could fall all the way to 8th place. The stage is set. Phoenix and T2 when we come back.
It's a great family environment. It really is fun. They do a good job making it fun for the kids.
Go Phoenix Rising!
All the excitement, all the fun. We have a great time every time we come to a Phoenix Rising game.
Go Arizona Federal!
If you just sign that first
I'm
one
so
there.
sorry. I don't feel comfortable signing that.
I don't get the math here.
Was this the same car we talked about?
What's this dealer preparation fee?
I'm so sorry. This just is not.
What we talked about.
Get the car without the car salesman. Carvana, the new way to buy a car.
Phoenix Rising FC is in the playoffs, fighting for the USL Cup.
This Phoenix team is must-see TV!
Join us at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex in Scottsdale and be part of the excitement as the team makes history. Watch Phoenix Rising host its first home playoff match ever Friday, October 19th at 7:30 p.m. For $1 beer and the playoffs, get your tickets at phxrisingfc.com. Phoenix Rising FC, rising as one.
At Showcase Honda, we want to show you the best. Let us show you our massive inventory of new Hondas, like the 2018 Honda Accord, 2018 North American Car of the Year, Honda Civic, or Honda CR-V. Or let us show you a certified pre-owned Honda, one of the best values on the road. And let us show you an unmatched sales and service experience. Only at Showcase Honda. Easy to find on Camelback Road just west of the 51. Online at showcasehonda.com. Get to the show today.
Almost set for kickoff here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr. Glad to have you with us. The Red Fury is ready to go. Our referee is ready to go. Portland Timbers 2 came in yesterday. They're ready to go, and we'll take a look at their starting 11. Devin, there is a ton of talent, and we are also going to have a very interesting sighting. Dairon Asprilla, who usually is with Portland Timbers in Major League Soccer.
They're actually going to be a bit different than what you're seeing on the screen. Farfan Dispe and Nathan Smith. Nathan Smith back from his suspension versus the double yellow in Sacramento, coming back, getting into that back line. They're going to run a 3-back system. Foster Langsdorff back up top on the 9. Laria on the left, Barmby on the right. Going to be very difficult for Phoenix Rising to deal with this heavy midfield. But you take a look at how Rick Shantz is going to set up. He's actually going to let Lambert tuck in between Farrell and Mala. That's going to be interesting. Kevon Frater will step up very high. Solomon Asante on the right. And youngster Devin Vega, just 19 years of age, going alongside the King, trying to control this midfield. It's going to be an interesting 90 minutes.
A 19-year separation between Didier and Devin Vega in the middle of the park. Vega, of course, coming off of one of the 2 goals against Las Vegas Lights FC, in which Phoenix were thoroughly outplayed in the last 15 minutes. And a lot of the guys on Phoenix just said, you know what, it's a one-off. That was sort of their USL Cup, and now we're going to move forward and try to get into good form. They did acknowledge the fact that it was good to have a humbling moment just before the postseason, but this Portland Timbers 2 side, they're not looking for a humbling moment. They're looking to get 3 points and cement themselves deep within the Western Conference postseason table as we are officially underway from the complex. As our head referee gets us started, Didier Drogba will line up for Phoenix in the regular season for the last time, as we have a terrific turnout here in the Valley of the Sun. As Luigi Mala an early header, and it'll be interesting to see, Devin, the center back pairing between Joe Farrell and Luigi Mala, as Mala's going to be playing on that left side. Farrell all season long has been the right center back.
See how Joe Farrell reacts to that. Joe Farrell has been accustomed to having the likes of Tristan Blackman or Mike DeFont alongside of him, so Mala stepping in. He is accustomed to being on the right, inside with Saad, but not a backline combination that we've seen at all over the course of this season for Phoenix Rising. And again, Timbers 2 really looking to compact the middle of the park.
And it's going to be an early foul on Portland Timbers 2. You saw in the pregame, much similar to Phoenix in their past 2 affairs, they have not been able to garner results, as it was actually Reno who beat Portland Timbers 2 in Cascadia country and able to clinch their postseason spot. So they've been coming up against some tough opponents who are in similar territory just with regards to trying to firm up their playoff spot, as Jason Johnson gets an early touch and driving forward with a lot of pace. Trying to find Didier Drogba, but it's cut out in the middle of the park. And T2 will work forward, trying to counter, and we have a feeling, Devin, we'll see a lot of Phoenix possession as Didier Drogba gets a nice little round of applause for his defensive efforts. A lot of Chelsea's fans right beneath us here have come out to support the King in the final regular season match. JJ gets another challenge in, and it'll be Phoenix ball as it comes off of Marvin Loria, who of course is the ever impressive loan from Saprissa, who Rick Shantz just has a tremendous amount of respect for.
Stay on Rick Shantz, and it's an interesting move by the gaffer to move some things around. Now with the injury by Chris Cortez not able to hold that high line for Phoenix Rising. Didier Drogba has stepped in as well. Instead, he's going to tuck back into the midfield and try and combine with Frater.
Lambert, that's a clean challenge. Drogba calls everybody off. Didier's gonna hit it. It's a good strike, and it's parried away by Mangels. Asante trying to square it across. Vega, sloppy first touch, trying to clean it up, laying it off for Kevon again. And it's cut out by Andre Lewis. Portland Timbers 2, trying to take advantage of the fact that Phoenix had committed a lot of numbers forward. And now it's Luigi Mala along the back line. Dia sloughs it forward, looking to use JJ's pace. It's a perfect ball. JJ is in. Johnson over the top. Frater, can he finish this off? It's off the post. Asante is there, and it's off the crossbar. An early chance goes begging for Phoenix, and Devin, this is very similar to what we've seen over the past couple of matches with terrific opportunities, but not finishing them off.
They have got to find a way to close things like this out early on, because it has come back to haunt them in the past, and you're seeing it again. Great movement by Phoenix Rising down into the final third. Love what you see from JJ. Nice challenge by Kevon Frater. Uses that big frame of his to go up and win that 50-50 ball. Solo needs to do better when he's closing out. Stay composed. Too much power behind it. Just pick a corner and go.
And there is an injured player for Portland Timbers too, and that'll bring the medical trainer on. As you get another look at the scramble in front. And Asante electing to go for an enormous amount of power. But I have a feeling that won't be the last chance that Solo is going to get or create in this one. As we haven't even played 4 minutes yet, and Phoenix have hit 2 different types of woodworks. As Didier will have a conversation with Devin Vega, Solo, and Kevon Frater. And Devin, it's interesting to see Didier in the role that he's in alongside Vega, and then have Frater up top. Of course, Chris Cortez, who got injured in that game against Las Vegas Lights FC, was precautionary. They took him out early, but this is a lineup that we haven't seen throughout the course of the season.
Not whatsoever, and it's really, really interesting that Rick Schantz is still choosing to employ some tactics that we actually got the opportunity to bring up midweek before the Vegas game. I said, you know, have you ever toyed with the idea of playing Cortez and Drogba at the same time, letting one of them drop down into the middle, probably being Didier, letting him kind of dictate the tempo for the game, and he said, we shall see. That was probably the plan in place here for this evening coming into the weekend. Unfortunately, if you haven't read the script, Chris Cortez goes out early on in the Las Vegas Lights games. In steps Kevon Frater. You've seen so far, they've done a decent job.
Well, they would love to try to get Kevon Frater going and perhaps scoring some goals heading into the postseason. Not nearly having the type of season he did in 2017 with Steve Tritchard and Colorado Springs Switchbacks, but playing a much different role with Phoenix, as he large in part has come off the bench. As Zambrano trying to thread the needle. Good step from Luigi Mala. And you could see, Devin, that patch about 10 yards past the 18 that Phoenix is defending does not look great. And this game, really for the most part, was in question at the beginning of the day because Phoenix has seen an enormous amount of rain. And of course, we are in the desert, so it's not something they're exactly used to here. And the field might not have the irrigation system that teams perhaps in the Northwest would, like Portland Timbers too, albeit it's an artificial turf. But the crew has done an incredible job of getting this field game ready just so that we can play the match tonight. As Portland Timbers too with some solid possession here. Marvin Loria, who we mentioned earlier. And Zambrano will slow things down. Devin, we even had the likes of the general manager, Bobby Dooley, Peter Ramage, assistant coach. Even Rick Schantz was grabbing a fork and trying to air raid the field. It was a grounds crew by committee effort by Phoenix Rising FC.
Quite interesting, and you were hoping that it was going to be able to get done because, as you mentioned, Tyler, earlier on this day, you weren't even sure if the game was going to be able to play. There was sitting water all over the place, but they've done a fantastic job. You will notice, though, that the ebb and flow of the game is going to be a bit different. Not going to be that high tempo opened on a regular basis. You're still going to see it in touchy spots, but it's difficult with players to get their footing, and you're going to see some movement that probably would have been a bit different if the elements hadn't come into play.
It'll go back for Waz. And trying to find Amadou Dia. It's a tough ball to handle, and Amadou slips as he was trying to keep it in play. And Portland Timbers, too, will reclaim possession. And it's going to be offside. Mentioned before, Phoenix with 3 points tonight can guarantee the #2 seed. And Devin, what a turnaround for this Portland Timbers 2 side. Cameron Knowles has done an excellent job of taking what was a side that was at the bottom of the barrel in the Western Conference table a year ago, as Joe Farrell sends this forward. Kevon Frater brings it down. Frater, a lot of space as his shot takes a deflection and should go out for a Phoenix corner at will, right in front of the Red Fury. And of course, to their right, the Banditos. And a large ovation for Didier Drogba as he makes his way over to the far corner of the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex.
If you're Rick Schantz, you've got to be quite happy early on with Kevon Frater, instrumental in the attack going forward already. Some solid touches on the ball. We saw the challenge on the 50-50 right at the top of the 6. This time he elects to pull the trigger.
Corner comes in low. Johnson tries to flick it along. And we'll do it one more time. Portland Timbers 2. Racing to our official, Lauren Varga, making the claim the last touch came off of JJ. And we'll see this a lot, Devin. The near post corner routine from Phoenix. That was actually how Jason Johnson scored the What's in the Water goal. And of course, it was Didier on top of the corner kick as Didier again trying to pick out the near stick. Devin Vega isn't going to win most aerial battles, even with Andre Lewis, who's pretty close to him in height. Luigi Mala out wide for the King. Vega. One more time for Drogba. That was an excellent idea trying to find Amadou Dia. Amadou wasn't exactly on the same page, but again, the wheels are spinning for Phoenix.
That's the chemistry that sometimes is lacking. As great as Didier Drogba is, he does provide that extra dimension that they're not used to. Amadou Dia a lot of times getting involved with the likes of Jason Johnson or Billy Forbes on the left side. So when Didier starts to drift over, he needs to keep his head on a swivel. He's more than capable of giving you glimpses like that.
Johnson up for the header. A couple of collisions. Loria brings it down. Zambrano stood up by JJ, and Vega with a terrific touch to find Lambert. Phoenix are off and running again. Didier, oh, he was looking for Asante, went for the outside of the boot. Through ball from about 30 yards away. We've seen him complete that type of pass before. How many players in the USL can even attempt that?
It's nice to see the thought process is still there, but maybe age coming in a bit.
40 years young, Didier Drogba. As Amadou Dia with some terrific work from the outside back position. Frater. And that's a nasty challenge on the near side. Lauren Varga, no whistle. Related to the near side. Zambrano, very talented central midfielder for Cameron Knowles. Loria back for Zambrano again. Dispay. Throw one in, Langsdorff. Lambert slipped again, but somehow able to find Didier. Drogba trying to step through and atone for his sins. Unable to. Portland Timbers 2 will gladly take it. Phoenix slow to get back behind the ball. Here's Asprilla. Bending it in. Offside flag does not come, and the header would have been good had it challenged Carl Wazinski, but it was not the case in the end.
It's a great ball in by Asprilla. Langsdorff very appreciative of the efforts, and to be fair, there needed better communication by T2. Langsdorff had an opportunity to bring that down. No one relayed it. Unfortunately, it's just a half chance at best afterwards. Was more than happy to pick it up.
Loria. It was a good idea, but pulling it in the end. It actually looked like it took a deflection. It did. And it will be a corner coming up for Portland Timbers 2, their first of the night. Loria will trot over to take it. Just 22 years old from San Jose, Costa Rica. On loan from the Costa Rican Giants, Saprissa, aka the Purple Monster. Zambrano. Here's Lewis. Really not going to be able to accomplish much in that dicey patch right above the 18. Lewis got rid of it, cleared away. Zambrano brings it down. That's really well done. JJ trying to step in. Smith. Loria, excellent. Barmby gives it away, and it's Dia who claims it. Devin Vega. Asante in tons of space, but closed out quickly by Austin Dispay and Devin. Asante and Jason Johnson have flipped sides.
Interestingly enough, and it's not something you regularly see.
Frater gets to the byline. Nobody's there for Phoenix, but Frater able to create something out of nothing, and a corner again for Phoenix.
A lot of times Rick Schantz will have them stay on their one side, and you have to wonder if it was coming defensively off of the set piece, coming out of the corner by T2, but a good job recovering by Phoenix Rising, then going in the other direction in transition, but Solo just caught out of his realm a little bit being on that left-hand side.
Another Drogba corner kick right in front of the Red Fury. towards the back post. Lambert, despite his best efforts, couldn't keep it in play for the home side. And a goal kick coming from Angels. And Devin, we've seen this from Phoenix before where they get a chance, a really early chance. The good news was against Las Vegas is that they converted. Colin Fernandez getting one inside 3 minutes. They go up 1-0. Vegas able to equalize, and then Devin Vega getting a penalty right before the half and converting. And the wheels fell off in the last 15 minutes, and with that young side, you sort of expected it. But, I mean, it can always be such a mental block. If you don't get that early chance, you don't get that early goal, you're sort of thinking to yourself, well, are we going to get a better chance?
It makes you quite nervous as well because it's a story we've been told many a time so far, especially in the past 2 games, both with Reno and most recently with Las Vegas Lights. Jason Johnson, 2 excellent opportunities against Reno. Unfortunately, a little bit of rust in his finishing skills. And then last time out, just couldn't get it done by Billy Forbes. And as we mentioned, Las Vegas Lights able to capitalize on it.
Frater working on Dispay, and Dispay completely gets the better of the Jamaican. Smith getting forward again. Zambrano trying to switch the point of attack. It's a great ball. And kept in. Timbers 2, solid in possession. Didier almost able to pick that off, and the foul should be going against Drogba. Didier took a little knock, just trying to stretch it out. Same goes for Smith, as the two will exchange pleasantries.
Great play by Didier, just stepping over, and you could see the touch just lacking a bit, and as he came back across, actually an excellent touch by Nathan Smith into negative space, making Didier force a decision on himself. Goes for the tackle, can't get stuck in. Ball moved by T2, and you've seen a pretty decent impact from Nathan Smith so far. Again, double yellow versus Sac Republic, back at it.
Loria, great ball in. Waz has to come off of his line. Excellent goalkeeping from the Wizard of Waz. Loria escapes Drogba, still Loria. He's excellent on the ball. Marvin Loria lets it fly again. Carl Waz spills it in front and able to collect, but Marvin Loria in the middle of the park creating all sorts of problems for Phoenix.
It's a great save by Carl Wazinski. There was a lot of space open for T2 in transition, just came about right at the top of the box. He elects to go for it, can't fault him. We've seen him pull the trigger from there many a time.
Luigi Mala forward from the center back position. Now it's Amadou Dia. Just out of the reach of JJ. And Lewis will go back from Angels. Farrell. Just shoulders off Loria. We had the pleasure of chatting with Joe Farrell last night, Devin, and he was just saying obviously the stark difference not only in climate from Rochester, New York to Phoenix, but also just in the style of play and how maybe a little bit more offensive-minded here in the Valley of the Sun compared to Bob Lilly, the defensive mastermind, of course, in charge of the Pittsburgh River Rhinos. Frater can't quite get the flick for Devin Vega, and T2 will claim it yet again.
Seemed to be Joey Farrell was more than happy with his change and enjoying his time here in Phoenix Rising. It was interesting to talk to him about his offseason escapades and exactly where he was going to end up and what could have been for Bob Lilly and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Turned out that Phoenix Rising was able to get to him first. Something would come back around, but he had already committed.
Nathan Smith back in. UCLA standout and a little bit of miscommunication from Portland Timbers 2 and a goal kick for Carl Wazinski. Devin, thoughts on the first 18 minutes or so?
Have to give credit to Phoenix Rising's back line, for considering the fact they've never played together like this. This is a back four combination that Rick Schantz has never employed. Duigi normally in that right central back position when he has played. Again, he was a regular starter at the beginning of this season. Things have gone a bit different of a direction, but he's done well alongside Joey Farrell. You can see the left side. There's a lot of open space, but unfortunately not enough connection so far. I need to find a way to get Didier, Dia, Kavan, and JJ all on the same page.
Johnson. Gets a toe poke along for Didier. And it's good work from Dispay, who's been dealing with the likes of Jason Johnson. Now Solomon Asante has switched over to the right side again. So that's the second time that JJ and Solo have flip-flopped. And this is how Phoenix likes to play in the attacking third. Very fluid, and nobody stapled down to one position. As Dia. Throw it in for Vega. Back for Amadou Dia. 20-year-old sensation Kavan Lambert. Farrell, that's an excellent first touch. Abdul Salam out wide for Asante, looking to use his pace. Solo to the byline. Asante gets the cross away, and it challenged Mangels in the end. And another corner for Phoenix.
Need to keep an eye on Devin Vega. He's very tentative getting up out of that challenge. Nathan Smith coming over, getting stuck in on him, trying to make his way back into the box. There was a load of space on the back post available. Solomon Asante likes to go for the shot. Angels just pushes it up over the bar, but another excellent opportunity for Phoenix Rising in the early portion of this match.
No movement yet from the Phoenix bench, and the last thing that they need is another injury. Of course, James Musa got hurt a couple of games ago. He's still a question mark moving forward. And of course, Chris Cortez not available in the 18 tonight after his knock that he picked up in Sin City. Drogba. Asante got there. It's still loose in front. And T2 able to get it away, but not before the offside flag is up.
Interesting, the linesman raising the flag on this one. They called it on Drogba on the ball played in, but he knocks it out in front of him, and it's actually stopped dead. And he steps up and whips it back into the sixer, but, you know, some good movement by Phoenix. You have to wonder how the only person that got the head on the ball was Solomon Asante.
Not exactly large in stature, the Ghanaian, who has 15 caps for the Black Stars, but his presence on the field larger than life at times. Dia. Johnson. Pretty casual first touch. And Amadou Dia will alleviate the pressure. You just have to wonder how the abnormal rain here in the desert has affected the pitch and in turn affected the play as Asante gets a great ball away, and Frater was about a half a step away from getting a clean head to that. Abdul Salam, of course, on loan from an NYCFC and has really fit in nicely along this Rick Shot's back line. JJ just bumps off Asprilla, somehow finds Drogba. The back heel again intended for Dia. And there's going to be a foul first, and it's going to be against Nathan Smith. And this is a terrific set-piece opportunity, especially when number 11 is on the field.
Going to be interesting to see exactly what Phoenix does here. Are they going to let Didier have a crack at goal and challenge the goalkeeper? Are they going to put something into the box? Keep an eye, though. That's the second time in the opening 20 minutes that connection where the overlapping run from Amadou Dia was not on the same page as Didier Drogba. Would have been in an excellent opportunity to knock it back across the box. Instead, they get a free kick. I get it. 25, 26 yards out from a rough angle, but you should have been able to get something much closer.
Well, Devin, my question to you is, had the play already gone long enough that advantage is sort of null and void at that point?
If the player continues, the referee plays advantage. But he stops, so he sees that there's real no advantage to be played, and rightfully so, he brings it back, calls the free kick.
It's Drogba on top of it. It is a very tight angle. He's going to put it on frame, though. It had plenty of dip on it, but the dip didn't come in time. And as a result, a goal kick for T2.
Still amazing to see what he can bring to the pitch. His set pieces that he strikes. You and I had the opportunity to step out to practice yesterday and take a look at him. And this guy can hit a ball 9 million different ways every single time that he steps up. The worst part is because of his body positioning, you don't ever know what he's thinking. He's very difficult to predict whether he's going to bring a lot of swerve on it, a lot of power. We see a lot of those balls where he hits it so square, but he can still make it dip. Very difficult for a goalkeeper.
And it's amazing at the ripe old age of 40, Didier Drogba, who's been doing this basically longer than Devin Vega's been alive, was the last one to stop hitting penalties and to stop hitting free kicks at training yesterday. I mean, they say that you need 10,000 hours to really become an expert or be truly great at something. Didier Drogba has exceeded that and then some. That's a terrific touch forward. Marvin Loria, the beneficiary. Loria, it's good work. Trying to get on that left peg. Loria lays it off for Andre Lewis, and he completely slips on the surface. Abdul Salam gets the challenge wrong. The Phoenix Rising faithful having a good laugh. The shot takes a deflection. Luigi Mala able to clear it away, and Phoenix can move up and out. Frater, excellent hold-up play. Didier trying to pick out Solo. It's a fizzing ball. It's excellent. Solomon Asante 1v1. Asante, Johnson, Vega bringing it down. Devin Vega's shot blocked by Austin Dispay. Drogba staying with it. Was he taken down? Lauren Varga not interested. And a throw-in for Phoenix, but how about Didier Drogba finding Solomon Asante in the next county?
The coolest customer in the entire stadium, and you could see that from a mile away. Solomon Asante, unlike Amadou Dia, knew exactly what the King was thinking, just got down there into space. Unfortunately, just a bit rusty by the rest of the boys when they did get right at the top of the box, but it's nice to see the movements coming.
Throwing comes in. Wasn't a bad one from Dia. Abdul Salam. Not his best delivery.
Amadou Dia giving his compatriot on the other side of the pitch a bit of a look like, hey, I can knock a ball to you like that. You better do the same, buddy. Unfortunately, couldn't find him. You have to respect this midfield by T2. Very impressive. 77 Andre Lewis and 40 Renzo Zambrano. They have been in full activity. Like the movement by Marvin Loria a second ago, and Lewis stepping right at the top of the box. The turf monster coming into play because of the rain from early on we spoke about.
Well, we do have a couple of score updates as Reno 1868 comes away with a 3-1 win over Orange County. And it just goes to show that if Phoenix had been able to get just 1 point, Devin, out of the Las Vegas game and then one here tonight, they would be the regular season champs of the Western Conference, but obviously not meant to be. It's still up for grabs, but they would need a lot of goals in order to make up for the goal differential, which would be the tiebreaker. Because if Phoenix are to win tonight, both teams would be level on points and on wins. The next tiebreaker goal differential, Jason Johnson. Excellent footwork. Devin Vega able to get it away for Asante. Solo starting to get busy over on the right wing. Asante, great ball in, looking for JJ. Seconds for Vega. Devin Vega's shot blocked in front yet again. That's the second or third time T2 have sacrificed the body. And another throw in for Portland Timbers to the visitors, who are doing a lot of defending as of late.
Gotta keep an eye on the outside backs for T2 because they've been very active. Nathan Smith and Marco Farfan are really having to cover for Jack Barbie and Espria. Espria almost not defending at all, staying very high up, wants to try and connect with Foster Langsdorff. Barbie, on the other hand, he's having a lot of pace going up and down, trying to deal with Solomon Asante.
Chance the other way, Frater, it's over the bar. Another good chance for Phoenix goes begging. And fans, make sure to visit your Valley local supermarket and pick up a Phoenix Rising branded bottle of Arizona Gunslinger.
Again, quick ball movement by Phoenix Rising. The build-up just a second ago was a great ball into the middle. Devin Vega, unfortunately, takes an extra touch. He doesn't need to. That's where a seasoned vet, that ball comes across your body. You whip it down into the channel immediately. Let Solomon continue. That gives you that extra 4 or 5 yard cushion to give him the one-on-one opportunity or combine with his boys up top.
Zambrano takes it away from Drogba. 28th minute, still no score between Phoenix Rising and T2 in the regular season finale of 2018. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr, glad to have you with us from wherever you may be watching. A night to honor Didier Drogba, a night to enjoy a living legend, and of course a night where Phoenix and T2 can rest easy knowing that there will be another game, both teams in the postseason, where they will land in the Western Conference table in large part will be affected by the result tonight. Frater. Drogba, just a little two-man game. Kevon Frater, Vega back for Frater, and it's a terrific challenge. Phoenix fans are up in arms, but that's excellent defending at the back. And even better defending from Luigi Mala, able to cut it out from Marvin Loria. Drogba showing his strength and taken down by Andre Lewis. Does that warrant a card? For now, the answer looks to be no.
Andre Lewis quite lucky to not end up in the book after this one. Referee letting the boys play a bit, but this tackle right at the top of the box was fantastic by T2. Definitely game-saving. Nice little combination play. Kevon Frater and Didier Drogba doing such a great job. That two-man game you referenced, Tyler. Kevon Frater just continuing in. Love the last-minute pass, and the tackle by Dispay is absolutely fantastic.
Didier Drogba is going to line it up from here. This is almost the exact same distance that he hit that stunning free kick against Tulsa, which was a mirror image, of course, of the free kick he hit against Los Dos. Didier Drogba. It's not a bad effort. And it's the second shot that he's taken where it's had that dip, but it was a little bit closer than the first. And again, number 11 just sort of calibrating.
Keep a look at the positioning by Drogba when he's over these dead ball situations. It's a bit off on the execution side of things, just leaning back a tad. Like you said, Tyler, he's catching the ball square, but unfortunately his body is just leaning back a little bit. That's why the ball rises early on. You can't come bring it back down. Phoenix 30 minutes in and definitely had the better chances. T2 not lacking on the offensive side of things.
Drogba. Another 40-yard ball across the field for Asante. Abdul Salam getting forward. It's Vega on the first time, and Manguel is able to make a comfortable save. There were a lot of options for Solomon Asante. He elected to go for Vega. Abdul Salam with a good overlapping run, though.
Angels does a great job here. Vega doesn't catch it true, but still good movement by Phoenix Rising right at the top of the box. Any other goalkeeper might slide across and cheat a bit more, trying to go towards the far post because of the positioning by the midfielder. Instead, the goalkeeper, very smart, just waits.
And we do have a halftime score. The Monarchs with a 1-0 lead over Fresno at Chuck Chansey. If the Monarchs are to lose, and Reno, who already won, it'll be Reno with a home playoff match. And the Monarchs would travel for the first round. Whoever put money on that at the beginning of the year, I would like to shake their hand.
You're a liar. You're a liar. They have been on a downward slope, have they not?
I think that's putting it politely. Here's Asprilla. Mala defending. Loria. Back for Asprilla.
T2 trying to counterpunch a bit. Asprilla getting involved on the right side. Dairon, you can see his disconnection from the squad, though. Not involved with Timbers 2 on a regular basis. So talented, but it's another one of those situations that we've seen over the entire league where sometimes when you do get these players that club from the club that may be above you, it can be more harm than good at certain points in time. Not saying that's the case here this evening, but we've seen it with guys coming from the Houston Dynamo into RGV, Philadelphia Union into Bethlehem Steel. Even the coaches say at times the growing pains can be quite difficult. You can bet Cameron Knowles that's going to be a talking point for them. Even going into the dressing room and figure out how to get him more regularly involved. Amadou Dia really hasn't had much to do on the defensive side of things.
Phoenix slowly but surely working out of the back. Abdul Salam. Lambert back for Asante. It's an excellent run forward. Here's the Ghanaian. Solo gets it away. And Dispay with a clean clearance. And that's a nasty challenge once again from T2. It's Lambert who goes down. Lauren Varga already awarded the free kick. Jack Barmby. Devin, I believe that's his second late challenge of the night so far. And he's going to get at least a stern talking to. Lambert still lies prone. And the Phoenix players are obviously very upset with the England natives challenge. And quite honestly, I can't blame them.
Rick Shantz and the coaching staff visibly frustrated up off the bench. He's barking in the fourth official's ear right now. They're going to send their trainer out. See exactly what's going on with Lambert. Does such a good job trying to maintain possession here. Tiny little flick over the top of the head and the trailing run. Bit of an elbow coming in on Lambert, but at the same point in time now it's the referee's decision where he's going to let this game go, because he's let them be very open and let them play a bit. But as you mentioned, Tyler, Barnby has been active on the defensive side of things, got stuck in a few times, might have overstepped his boundaries here.
So Barnby's shown a yellow. Solo was actually upset that it wasn't a different color card. One of the more Valentine's Day variation. Your card is in the mail, by the way, from this previous Valentine's Day.
It'll be in the shredder as soon as it arrives.
I heart you too.
Keep an eye for T2 though. They've gotten themselves in trouble in the past with this. Most recently, which we mentioned early on in the Open, Nathan Smith. Nathan Smith early on in the Fresno game went out, got an unnecessary yellow card right around the 74th minute. That came back to haunt them. Ended up getting his second yellow, gets thrown out, and they had to play behind. They're able to scrounge out a point, but they were leading the game. Fresno gets back into it. They get it to 2-2. Those are the situations that as a youngster, you got to figure out what you're going to do. Jack Barnby is a seasoned vet of sorts, but still only early 20s, so he's got to find a way to lock situations like that up. He really didn't need to get stuck in there.
Well, it looks like Lambert is okay, as some of the Phoenix Rising FC members have made their way over to Didier Drogba to have a chat about what's going on the field tactically. And it was great to see Didier interact with some of the younger guys during training, and really at the first annual Phoenix Rising FC soccer charity ball last night, raising money for recreational players in the Phoenix Rising FC program. And just an outstanding event, and Didier has just embraced Phoenix Rising FC for exactly what it is, which is a terrific organization. And now he stands over yet another set piece. This is the third one of the match for Didier. Abdul Salam faked the run at the near side. Drogba picks out Abdul Salam. It's a great ball across. It's loose, and it's cleared off the line again. Phoenix on the doorstep, but Portland Timbers 2 simply will not let them through. Meanwhile, it's a menacing counterattack from T2, and Luigi Mala, that is extremely well done, and even Devin Kerr a golf clap of applause.
You got to give credit to the center back. This is so difficult to dive in a situation like that. Mala does not whatsoever. Phoenix get very lucky. We've got two players down now. We'll double back in a second. Renzo Zambrano gets absolutely destroyed by Luigi Mala. The center back showing no signs of rust whatsoever. Also got Devin Vega down again on the far side of the pitch. I like the ingenuity. It's a different look. Didier Drogba standing over the ball, deciding, you know what? They didn't check with him the first time. How about we give it another go? Alex Mangelis has been very active in this first half. He has kept T2 in this match.
And Vega heading over to the athletic trainer of Phoenix, talking to them about whether or not a sub may be necessary. Blair Gavin now heading over to the fourth official to have a word, as this one sent up from Joe Farrell. Jason Johnson again, he's been excellent tonight technically. Vega, Drogba lets it through for Solomon Asante. Back for Didier, couldn't quite get the first touchdown, but enough pressure to perhaps win a throw-in. Asante keeps it in play. Didier offside, flag is up.
Cameron Knowles already making a tactical switch, and we were looking at the lineup card early on, exactly what was coming out. He was in a three-back system, but what he had done was he had taken number 26, Modou Jadama, and moved him into middle of the park to try and really congest the midfield so that Phoenix Rising Didier Drogba could not get a stranglehold. He saw what Rick Shantz was trying to do. Now he's moved him back into a four-back system alongside Dispe. See if maybe that can tone things up a bit. Phoenix has had a lot of opportunities.
We have another score update. San Antonio FC and RGV, a final of 1-1. Vega. And it's cleared away. Kevon Frater. Aspria. That's excellent. Tons of room for T2 moving the other way. Loria. Back for the Costa Rican. Let's see what he was trying to do and just win perhaps a corner or a throw-in, but Abdul Salam just distanced himself far enough so they can make a play on it. Drogba. Back from Angels. And Zambrano will settle things down for Portland Timbers too. And Devin, with that San Antonio FC result or lack thereof, I mean, they do get a point and they're still within the cutoff line, but if Swope Park are to get their 3 points against Los Dos tomorrow afternoon, it'll be San Antonio and Darren Powell on the outside looking in for the 2018 USL Cup playoffs. And considering the season they had a year ago and some of the additions, like the likes of Lance Lang, you would figure that they would be a playoff team, but seemingly might not be the case. Abdul Salam trying to defend. And it's Lambert who comes away with it in the end. Trying to spark the counterattack is the Jamaican. Here's Solomon Asante now. It's turned around. Jason Johnson.
Tyler, when we came on air, we were talking about all the movement that could be in the Western Conference, mentioning that T2, pending results, could drop all the way to 8th. The way things are going, that's probably not going to happen. However, how about St. Louis? Anthony Pulis and his boys are able to squeak out a very tight 0-0 tie versus OKC Energy. And for OKC Energy, that's the team that could have been so hot down the stretch, but unfortunately stumbling out of the gate. Anthony Pulis and St. Louis have locked up a playoff position.
Loria comes back in. The header down from Langsdorff, and Waz can hang out to it and keep it out of the net. But it's been better from T2 in the closing stages of this first half. Still 0-0 between Phoenix and the visitors from the Pacific Northwest. Drogba. And we're hearing 3 minutes of stoppage to be added on. Obviously give you the word when that is confirmed. Vega. It's a slow ball from Carl Wazinski. Mala has some work to do, gets it away, it's well done. Vega. And Zambrano, not exactly large in stature himself, but able to get the better of Vega physically. Loria, that's excellent. T2 threatening yet again. And it's going to be a foul. Didier Drogba's furious over on the far side. Yelling at the youngster to get up. And now Varga telling the Chelsea legend, there's been one, there's been two. I better not see a third or that'll be a booking.
No more. No more whatsoever. Felt there was a bit of theatrics by Jack Barnby over here, but Didier Drogba definitely trails him right at the end of this challenge. Don't really want to call it a mistake because he definitely knows what he's doing on a regular basis. Unfortunately, overextends himself a bit. Going to give T2 an excellent opportunity just before the halftime whistle.
Free kick comes in. Won by Farrell. Not claimed yet. Vega can't get there. Loria. Dispay. Now it's Andre Lewis. Lewis wanted to tee it up. Now sends it out wide. Aspria. Working on JJ. The Colombian. Has it deflected by Amadou Dia. It'll stay inside of the corner flag. And a throw-in for the visitors.
The referee not agreeing with Espria's decision, felt maybe he was a bit off the mark for where the throw-in was supposed to be. Our linesman letting him know that he was definitely far off the mark. Didier Drogba, as Didier Drogba does, more than happy to escort him over and say, it's right here, buddy.
Didier into the channel for Frater. Zambrano racing back. He is excellent in the middle of the park. Does it all defensively and can get linked up in the attacking third as well. Amadou Dia stepping in. Loria. Was able to make the save. Phoenix were looking for an offside flag. It was certainly close. And now the fourth official makes it official. 3 minutes to be had at the end of the first half.
Upon initial look, it did look offside, but when you track back a bit more, Amadou Dia was drifting a bit on the defensive side of things. He did not ride the line when Mala and Farrell stepped up. It was onside.
Lewis goes out wide. Barmby. It was just out of the reach of the holding central midfielder. Aspria will just see it out. But it's threatening play from Cameron Knowles' side. Nathan Smith. Driven ball towards the back post. And Waz will call off Joe Farrell. Good communication between keeper and central defender. Frater lets the ball do the work. Frater fending off Zambrano. Finding Solomon Asante. Solo. Couple of shimmies, couple of shakes. Asante still with it, knocks it across. And again, it's T2 with some great defending. Comes back in, chested down. And perhaps Portland Timbers too can have one last chance here. Tell you what, Devin, Modou Jadama has been all over the back line for T2. And he has made some really big interceptions and key tackles.
T2 lucky to have such a universal piece like that. You mentioned him earlier, starting off in the middle of the park, just alongside, actually tucked in front of Lewis and Zambrano. He's moved back as they've gone into this four-back system, trying to find a way to get the outside backs involved. They want to free up Jack Barmby and Aspria. They have not been able to do so. Most of the chances have come from this intertwining play in the middle of the field.
Loria driving forward again. Marvin Loria really doesn't want to go to that right foot, and the challenge is not a clean one from Mala, and a free kick in a really dangerous area now.
This is one as a center back where you need to know better, because if you don't overextend yourself in this situation, the ball has already been pushed to the side. There's no way whatsoever the attacker on the near side of the pitch is going to get involved. He just pushes his arm out a little bit. You can see Loria hunting for it. Now Mala gets stuck in a bit, but all he does is need a shoulder charge, doesn't need to turn his back, makes the referee decision easy.
And Varga looks like has gotten his book out. And it's a yellow for Luigi Mala. And Rick Shantz simply saying to our fourth official, he got a yellow for that? And now Waz has some organizing to do. Rick Shantz still having a conversation with the fourth official. Not happy whatsoever. Maybe the call was borderline, but the card he feels was not warranted. Is this 100% Loria's ball, Devin?
He's going to want it, doesn't he? You'll wonder exactly what Aspria's thoughts are, because he does get involved when he's playing for Portland Timbers. Some beautiful minds standing over the ball right now. Are they going to get tricky? Excellent opportunity for a touch stop hit to move something outside of the wall and get it away and really try and challenge Waz.
Loria, Asante and Vega the mobile wall for Phoenix, who sprinted forward, and that's going to do it for the first half. Phoenix and T2 in an absolute dogfight in the season finale. It's 0-0 at the big intermission here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. A lot of early chances for Phoenix, a couple of good ones for T2 as well. Thoughts on the first half?
Solid sparring match between the two. Phoenix Rising definitely had the better chances in the offensive third. Now's the time you got to figure out what are you going to do going into the second half. This is the same song, different day. Past two matches, eerily reminiscent of what we've seen so far. Give credit to T2. Very hostile environment, difficult to get it done on the road.
Well, the Red Fury and Banditos, as always, have provided an electric atmosphere, and it was almost an electric start to this one here at the complex as Solomon Asante and Freighter hit the post and crossbar in a matter of seconds. Didier Drogba in his season finale has put on quite the show from a distribution standpoint. We're headed to the halftime show. Don't go anywhere. Some terrific material coming up. It's 0-0 at the half.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Yo soy el Dr. José Francisco Carrasco de Happy Kids Pediatrics. Para nosotros, sinceramente, lo más importante es la salud y el bienestar de sus niños.
Happy Kids Pediatrics son clínicas especializadas en pediatría enfocadas en la salud y el bienestar de los niños con localidades cómodas, limpias y cercanas a usted. Podrá ver al mismo proveedor médico constantemente. Aceptamos access, aseguranzas privadas y precios especiales para pacientes sin seguro médico. Happy Kids Pediatrics, sirviendo a la comunidad hispana por más de 18 años.
It's a great family environment. It really is fun. They do a good job making it fun for the kids.
Go Phoenix Rising!
All the excitement, all the fun. We have a great time every time we come to a Phoenix Rising game.
Go Arizona Federal!
If you just sign that first
I'm
one
so
there.
sorry. I don't feel comfortable signing that.
I don't get the math here.
Was this the same car we talked about?
What's this dealer preparation fee?
I'm so sorry. This just is not.
What we talked about.
Get the car without the car salesman. Carvana, the new way to buy a car.
Phoenix Rising FC está en los playoffs y está luchando por la Copa USL. Acompáñanos en el complejo futbolístico del Phoenix Rising en Scottsdale y sé parte de la emoción mientras el equipo hace historia. Mira al Phoenix Rising ser el anfitrión de su primer partido en los playoffs, viernes 19 de octubre a las 7:30 p.m. Para el especial de cervezas de $1 y los playoffs, obtén tus boletos en phxrisingfc.com. Phoenix Rising FC, nos elevamos unidos.
Halftime here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr, glad to have you with us as it is 0-0 between Didier Drogba, Rick Schantz, and Phoenix Rising, and Cameron Knowles' Portland Timbers too, who have obviously been extremely impressive this season. And Devin, we had a great opportunity to attend and host just a terrific event last night hosted by Phoenix Rising FC, led by Didier Drogba, as they were able to raise just an incredible amount of money for an awesome cause. And just a really excellent environment.
I'd like to get this out of the way and pay you a compliment. Can't believe I'm doing this. Didn't know you cleaned up that well. You look great, buddy. Yeah, it was fantastic, and it was a true testament to what Didier Drogba is as a person. Does such a good job representing this game at a global level. The entire night, everybody was trying to make it about him. He made it about the community, made it about the kids. They were able to raise a massive amount of money for so many great causes, and to be a part of something like that was absolutely fantastic. You have to wish him the best in the future and beyond.
Well, there was a number of players from his playing past that wished him the best, and there were some really funny videos. A lot of them were in French, and I didn't necessarily understand any of them. But Devin, I do want to give you a little bit of credit because my wardrobe basically was large in part due to you, and you dressed me for the most part. But, you know, it's a team game, football. It's the beautiful game, and that's why we love it. There was some dancing. Everybody had a lot of fun. Didier Drogba, of course, showing off the moves. And it was just an incredible night and really well done by Phoenix Rising FC. We're going to keep moving through the halftime show. Some great stuff from the USL coming up. Let's take a look. Terrific stuff from the rebrand of the United Soccer League, as the USL will now be known as the USL Championship, and should be really just outstanding, not only for the United Soccer League acquiring Division III as well as the PDL, which will now be known as League One and League Two respectively, but just for the growth of the beautiful game in North America, as we are moving right through the halftime show here in the Valley of the Sun. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr, and we will take a look at exactly what it's going to look like, just in simple terms. USL, now the USL Championship. Division III, which was always going to be a reality for 2019, will now be known as USL League One. And Devin, this is our favorite right here, PDL, under the umbrella of the USL right now, and 70% of MLS draftees have at one point in time played for a PDL side, and the same goes really for the most part, not quite the statistic, but for USL players as well. I mean, how many times are we doing research on players and somebody's made the stop at the likes of Long, FC Tucson, Des Moines Menace, Ventura County Fusion?
Tormenta. I mean, how about Tormenta's run last year and their ability to step into this league and get things going? And it is a real true testament to the league and their growth with across the United States with so many different organizations. We've loved what they've done at the youth level. We're going to get to that in a few minutes. But how about League Two? That number, 70%, that is astronomical, and it gives you a real idea when these guys, whether they're caught at the youth level, whether they're coming out of college, what they've been able to get done. Some of these guys that you're looking at right now have been just that. Eamon Zayed, fantastic today. Unfortunately, Charlotte Independence could not get it done. Colin and his boys, 3-1.
Wow.
Needed that victory, come out and get it. Mariasic, nice to see him. Saucedo, Forest Lasso. They were behind to Nashville. That turned into a bit of a heavyweight title fight. Could be foreshadowing of a first-round matchup in the Eastern Conference. They end up tying 3-3. Nashville might slide into 8. Got to see what happens with Bethlehem Steel. Lance Lang, we talked about him in the broadcast. Fantastic since loaned over from FC Cincinnati. Darren Powell, San Antonio, rough one.
And of course, Matt Bersano on the Team of the Week as well for his performance against Phoenix Rising FC, the Chandler, Arizona native, as he did an excellent job here at Phoenix last week. And a look at Sunday's schedule and the final match day of the 2018 regular season. Devin, there's a lot on the line here, and with San Antonio's result, Swope Park, if they are able to get 3 points, will be into the postseason. New York Rebels 2 and Pittsburgh Riverhounds, a great little matchup there. That could perhaps be a second-round matchup in the Eastern Conference, or perhaps a first. I don't really see that end up happening, but there's just a ton of movement still left, and there's still one more day to play.
So much to go on in both the Eastern and Western Conference. Again, issues still end out here. Bob Lilly, John Wolyniak, that could be a very fun one because you never know what you're getting from Red Bull 2. Swope Park Rangers, never would I ever have thought that they'd be fighting for a playoff spot come the last week of the season.
And we are almost set for second half kickoff here at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. The subs are out right now warming up, getting some touches in as we are halfway home to the end of the 2018 regular season for Phoenix and T2. Stay with us, second half kickoff right around the corner.
It's a great family environment. It really is fun. They do a good job making it fun for the kids.
Go Phoenix Rising!
All the excitement, all the fun. We have a great time every time we come to a Phoenix Rising game.
Go Arizona Federal!
At Showcase Honda, we want to show you the best. Let us show you our massive inventory of new Hondas, like the 2018 Honda Accord, 2018 North American Car of the Year, Honda Civic, or Honda CR-V. Or let us show you a certified pre-owned Honda, one of the best values on the road. And let us show you an unmatched sales and service experience, only at Showcase Honda. Easy to find on Camelback Road just west of the 51. Online at showcasehonda.com. Get to the show today.
Phoenix Rising FC is in the playoffs, fighting for the USL Cup.
This Phoenix team is must-see TV.
Join us at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex in Scottsdale and be part of the excitement as the team makes history. Watch Phoenix Rising host its first home playoff match ever Friday, October 19th at 7:30 p.m. For $1 beer and the playoffs, get your tickets at phxrisingfc.com. Phoenix Rising FC, rising as one.
At Pruitt's, we love all the traditions of fall. Our favorite is the seasonal lowering of prices. Like this factory closeout 4-piece bedroom set, a cozy $399. And what about this smaller scaled 2-piece sectional? Yours for just $599. Fall savings are here, so visit Pruitt's today at Thomas Road and 34th Street. Pruitt's, proudly serving the Valley for over 65 years.
Once again, it is Phoenix Rising FC and Portland Timbers 2 in the regular season finale. Same story as a year ago, but very different narrative for Portland as they are going to be in the postseason. Last year, they were struggling just to get double-digit points, as this side really has done an incredible job. Hats off to Cameron Knowles and everybody within the Portland Timbers organization just to get them to this point. As we will take a look at some of the best moments from the first half. And Devin, really from the get-go, it was Phoenix trying to get an early goal, trying to ride the momentum of the crowd, and they hit two different woodworks. Didier Drogba forcing a good challenge and good save out of Alex Mangels, and Kevon Lambert doing what he does in the middle of the park.
Exactly what Rick Schantz wanted. He got mentality from Kevon Frater and Didier Drogba to boost that commitment going forward in that hybrid role that we've seen Didier Drogba not really play in the past. Again, thought maybe we'd see it with Chris Cortez. The injury comes back. They were flying, absolutely going on all cylinders in the opening 10-15 minutes. Unfortunately, could not close things out. It is exactly what went on versus Reno. We saw it most recently midweek versus Las Vegas Lights. You hope, continuing in the second 45, that that's not the case to come. T2, nice sparring partner. They had a couple challenges themselves going in the other direction. Everything in transitional play from this man who was heavily involved, Marvin Loya. Nice crack from distance. Also saw him on a set-piece opportunity.
Marvin Loya, who's on loan from Saprissa, just has the ultimate amount of respect from Rick Schantz and the entire Phoenix organization. And, of course, Portland Timbers, too, are glad to have him on his side. And then Solomon Asante, it was initially Didier Drogba, Jason Johnson in the first 5-10 minutes. Solo then would get very involved.
He was all over the place. You saw some interchanging early on. He had come to the left side, Jason Johnson over the right. Rick Schantz going back to the bread and butter, letting Solo do his thing on the right-hand side. Remember, he's been sitting on 8 assists for a couple weeks now. Very uncharacteristic of Solomon Asante to not be able to close out those chances. Phoenix Rising needs to come out early in the second half, make a statement, get that momentum back in their corner.
Well, it's very similar, as Devin said, to the game against Reno and the game against Vegas. The good news against Vegas is they ended up getting an early goal. Early second half, they had some great chances too, as we'll take a look at the numbers from the first 45 minutes. Obviously, the big one is at top. No goals for either side. Possession, for the most part, split down the middle. T2 with a slight advantage, as towards the end of the first half, Devin, they were most certainly on the front foot.
Schantz isn't going to care about the possession battle. He's all about efficiency in the offensive third and what can you get done. Again, we're going to bring you up the pitch. We need you guys to be clinical when we put you in front of the 8x8. T2, they're going to put together a massive amount of possession, 400-500 passes a game. As long as you can sit back, stay defensively composed, then explode going the other direction, that's exactly what you want. Didier Drogba has put them in excellent situations. Now it's what we talked about at the top of the broadcast. Can the supporting members step up and get something done?
Well, we have a very special guest joining us in the broadcast booth, and somebody we just had the pleasure of meeting last night, Mr. Andy Chapman, who is the Director of Coaching for the Phoenix Rising Youth Academy. And Andy, you were originally with the Blackhawks. They had the merger. You now are with Phoenix Rising. You were at the event last night. We had an absolute blast getting to meet you and the Mrs. Nicolette. And really just talk to the fans a little bit about what the merger has been like with Phoenix Rising, and since they've come into the picture, how your life has changed a little bit.
A huge growth for us, fellas. Honestly, an unbelievable environment here that Phoenix have created. We now have 8,000 soccer players playing recreational and competitive soccer over 5 different parts in the valley, down in Tucson, north in Cave Creek, over in Phoenix, and here in Scottsdale. So lots of players playing all across the state.
We had a chat with you last night. We talked about your background and your ability playing overseas and transitioning to the coaching role. From a growth standpoint, and obviously different continents, what's the biggest thing that you see different in the United States at the youth level now?
You know, the involvement of the players, you know, you get a huge commitment level. Players training 3 nights a week, consistently playing weekend games. We're really getting close to that high-level competitive youth program that is abroad and across Europe. We're getting very close.
And obviously Phoenix has sort of burst onto the scene, the rebrand after Arizona United, and you've been here for a while now. Was Phoenix Rising and just sort of what was going on your radar before the merger with Blackhawks and Phoenix Rising?
Definitely something we've always been very supported of here. Supported the club back when we were Blackhawks, Scottsdale Soccer Club, and just really excited about this opportunity and being a part of the only professional organization here in Arizona.
I tell you, I mentioned it to you last night, but we have conversation off camera, we have conversations on camera. camera, and it's a big testament to me when a community, a club, everybody starts to get involved. I think it's something that's definitely lacking in the United States. I love to see a massive organization combine at the youth level. So kudos to you, because number one, that doesn't happen on a regular basis, and the ability to then have success and push that growth, absolutely fantastic. Well done, you guys.
Well, Andy's going to hang around for a moment, and we'll have a three-man booth. Mike DeFont coming on at halftime. Devin, I'm going to pose this question to you. How does that shake things up? Did you see this coming at the end of 45 minutes?
The only reason Rick Schantz is making this move is because Mala got a little bit out of his comfort zone towards the end of the first half, picked up that yellow card, so he wants to make sure defensively they do not give up any mistakes. Again, they do have a slight opportunity of grabbing the number one, but remember, if they don't get a result, Sac Republic goes out and gets it done, Phoenix can drop to 3.
Well, Andy, I'm going to ask you, first 45 minutes, we talked about the chances. After they hit the woodwork and the game started to settle in, what did you think of the first 45 minutes?
You know, I felt that first 15 minutes, you know, getting that early goal would have been great. We definitely rode our luck a little bit there in the middle part of in the first half. We've got to be better in transition, just get numbers back behind the ball, making sure that we are nice and solid and hard to beat. I think that's going to be really important going into the playoffs. If we can be hard to beat, we've got a chance of winning any of those games.
Well, we're underway for the second half here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. Tyler Terrence, Devin Kerr, and special guest for the moment, Andy Chapman, the Director of Coaching for Phoenix Rising Academy. Glad to have you with us as both of these teams looking for a big result that could solidify their playoff position. T2 trying to avoid an 8 seed. Phoenix trying to lock up the 2 seed as Didier Drogba is going to be offside. And this is the center back pairing that we're used to with Mike DeFont and Joseph Farrell. And Devin, one that, you know, a couple of weeks ago I posed the question to you because it had been changing so much who your favorite back line was, and now we're getting to see it here in the second half.
100%. There was a stretch of games where over the course of 8-9 matches, they only gave up 3 goals or so, and when you stretch it further over 12, you know, they had the shellacking at Real Monarchs, but they really solidified things. This has got to be Rick Schantz's favorite back four, except for the fact that they don't have Tristan Blackman, but again, on loan, LAFC, sometimes he's in and out.
And that substitute brought to you by Capriati's Sandwich Shop, fanatically delicious subs. As Solomon Asante taken down, now the foul's going to be called. And a free kick coming up. And Devin, of course, we're in the Valley of the Sun right now, and you had the opportunity to go and have yourself a fanatically delicious sub earlier today.
Heaven on earth. Heaven on earth. I was so excited to get involved in that, and my Uber driver looked at me and he goes, a bit far to get a sandwich, isn't it? I go, just drive. Just drive. Don't turn around. I didn't mind going 3.5 miles or so. Unfortunately, the driver took a bit longer than I wanted.
And there you see again Solomon Asante getting tripped up. Andy, will you tell this guy that he needs to lay off the sandwiches and all
yeah,
the
you know,
his big wedding day?
I really think he should be looking at salads instead of those subs. You can get a little carried away. Once you've had one, you might be going back the next day for another. So keep an eye on that weight.
Here's Drogba. Delivery this time. Trying to keep it in play for Phoenix. Wow, that's an excellent ball out wide for Lambert. Kavan going for the curler, and Mangels was a little bit caught out of position, Devin.
You don't exactly see Kavan stepping up in situations like that. They're deep holding 6 and tries to get the curler to the back post. Mangels cheating a bit on the near side and could have tucked it in, might have been able to get something in, but again, Phoenix on the front foot, opening portion of the half. Definitely a conversation that was to be had at halftime with Rick Schantz and the boys executing as so far.
His pay up for the header. Langsdorff trying to find Espria in a foot race with Amadou Dia. And a little bit of miscommunication, and Espria bulldozes over Waz. And that ends up working out really nicely for Phoenix in the end.
He gets a bit lucky here. He and Waz need to make sure their communication is solidified a bit more. But Foster Langsdorff outside of the chance just at the end of the first half. Really silent. Again, a testament to what went on in the first half in the back line for Phoenix Rising.
Vega couldn't play it. Frater will. The loan from Harborview just clips it between two T2 players, and it's Jadama who comes away with it, who was brilliant in the first half.
Something that's not going to show up in the stat sheet when you look is the very smart play by the 19-year-old Devin Vega, just holding his line, staying off, even though he's in the offside position, allows his big number 9 up top to get into the final third. Good recognition by Kavan Frater.
I just noticed there, fellas, really important that you've got Asante really making a bigger effort to get back behind the ball a lot earlier and get that defensive shape, making it hard for us to be broken down in that transition. Maybe a change they've made there at halftime.
Well, we noticed in the first half that JJ and Solo were flopping sides basically every other 10 minutes or so, and as a result, there was a little bit of miscommunication, and T2 had some chances on the counter. That's where the majority of their work came in the final third. As that will run out of play. Phoenix, of course, with 2 substitutes left. Cameron Knowles has not exhausted 1 yet. Joseph Farrell working on Foster Langsdorff, who, Devin, for the most part, was kept relatively quiet in the first half.
He's someone, you take a look at exactly what's gone on over the course of the season, red hot in the middle of the year. I mean, this guy was absolutely on fire. Hasn't had any goals since their 3-2 home loss to Orange County. Ready for this one? August 22nd. That's a guy who netted in 7 out of the previous 9. So teams have figured out the fact that they want to go through Langsdorff on a regular basis. The problem is they've been able to get results, not recently, but they were able to stay in playoff contention because they had the likes of Marvin Loria, Jack Barbie, Zambrano. So those supporting cast members were stepping up, but they've kept them all at bay this evening.
Here's Didier Drogba, just knocks it out wide for Amadou Dia. It's too far out in front of him and close to Asprilla. And last touch is going to be off of Phoenix. And Andy, I want to ask you this. I mean, in a million years, when you came over to the United States, did you ever think that if there was a second division team in America, that you were going to have the opportunity to see Didier not only be a part owner of a team, but to be playing as well?
You know what, fellas, last night was extremely special when he had his moment and we got to hear about all his accolades. You forget about some of those critical things that he's done in his career, and it's been such a long career that he's had. The inspiration that he brings here to Arizona and the players, someone to look up to, a real role model, and someone that has achieved so much.
So, Andy, I got to ask you, inquiring minds want to know if you're stepping on, if you're in playing match fitness right now and you step on, where are we pushing you into this lineup?
You know, I'd like to think of myself as maybe being that Didier Drogba. You know,
of course you do.
There's the door. Go ahead.
Yeah. Kind of that free roll mentality, drifting in and out. I actually like it. You know, he played the 9 for long periods of his career, but he comes in, he affects the game. He tries to dominate possession and get on the ball as often as possible. And he's brought a leadership role as well to the middle of the field.
And you can see that right now as Didier Drogba barking at Kevon Frater. And he's certainly not afraid to get into some of the younger guys on the team. And while he is a humanitarian, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, he's not afraid to let his boys have it if there's something that needs to be done on the field in the correct manner.
It is interesting to Andy's point because there are 9s, just pure class strikers, that when they get into advantageous positions, they're going to push, they're going to go in one-on-one. But when things start to come back on the defensive side of the ball, with all due respect, Cristiano Ronaldo, an excellent representation of that, very rarely do you see him tracking back further than the latter portion of the semicircle. A lot of times he wants the ball out in front of him. Didier Drogba not afraid to go explore.
Asante with a rare heavy touch. And Jadama skies it into the section that's heavily populated with the Chelsea blue. As Didier gave them a nice wave as they were stepping on right before the national anthem. Farrell finding Devin Vega. Farrell trying to pick out Didier Drogba. It'll go all the way to the far side for Jason Johnson, bringing it down, sizing up Nathan Smith. JJ, oh, it's on the wrong side of the post. We've seen him do that before in 2017, and JJ not far off here.
He doesn't need much, does he? Tiny bit of separation, quick little step over move, puts it on that massive left foot of his. Tries to unleash a cannon on the front post. Gotta give credit to the goalkeeper from T2. I mean, he really has been very, very consistent. Outside of one chance here or there, but definitely keeping his squad in this. Again, 7-8 minutes in, you can feel it, those chances just pushing, waxing and waning in the match, and you would hate to see something really change this match overall, because Phoenix dictating the terms at this point in time. They'd like to keep the tempo in their end.
Didier had some superb skill just to keep that. And was trying to play a little two-man game with Jason Johnson. And Andy, unfortunately, we're going to have to bid you adieu because I know how possessive Devin can be of airtime, and we don't want to ruffle his feathers in this big of a game. But Andy, glad to have you in the booth. Great to finally meet you, and you did an excellent job in the booth. And Devin, I would really watch out because he's coming for your job.
I'm with that, and that's fair. And you know what? Just to give you a little bit of understanding of what's going on behind the scenes.
We'll pause for a moment. Here's Loria on his left foot, back for Asprilla. Runs out of real estate. It falls nicely for Loria. Wants it on that left peg. Lewis. It's a lot of space for Dairon Asprilla. Looking to take advantage of it. Keeps it low, and Farrell just stabs it away from trouble. Didier trying to win it back. It'll remain with the visitors. Goes out wide again. T2 threatening out. Lofted delivery. Langsdorf up for it. Asante gets a touch, and it will be a foul. And a free kick coming up for Phoenix.
Before we say goodbye to our good friend, we have a confession to make. You went to bed last night, and you decided that we were doing an interview. He and I decided that we had made a lifelong friendship, and we've already put things in the works to replace you next year. So.
Great.
I appreciate everything, fellas.
I appreciate both of you guys.
I appreciate you having me, fellas. I wish you guys all the best. You're doing an amazing job. And like Rambo said last night, a face for the radio.
Oh, there it is.
Which one of us are both?
Well, you know, two great-looking lads, but, you know, better up here in the booth where you're not seen. But I wish you all the best, lads, and hopefully Phoenix Rising here can finish out this game and have a great run in the playoffs.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, sir. Enjoy the rest of the match.
There you have it from Andy Chapman, the director of coaching at the Phoenix Rising Academy. Barmby almost slips. Chidama. Didier Drogba with just enough pressure. Amadou Dia stationed nicely. That's a nasty challenge. It's a clean one. It's just a throw-in for T2. And we've seen some bone-crunching tackles from the likes of Dewey Jamal and Amadou Dia along that back line, albeit clean.
Remember, our referee let him play early on in the first half. Not until about the 35 minute, really get involved in the run of play, starting to some pretty heavy decisions going into his book. On both sides of the ball for T2 and Phoenix Rising, they were recipients of said yellow card. But it's nice, though. It's nice when the referee doesn't have that negative impact on a match, lets the boys play, keeps things open, keeps things interesting.
Zambrano gives it away. It's a dangerous turnover, especially at the likes of the feet of Asante. Drogba trying to weave his way through. It'll fall for Jason Johnson. Whips it across. It's Frater! But it's offside. That's close. That's real close. Boo Birds are out. We'll try to get a good look at it. And Kavan can't believe it.
Once again, Phoenix Rising, absolutely fantastic build-up. All about that overlapping play. And even though Didier can't release the ball early enough, he still makes an impact. That is, wow. What a horrendous decision by the referee. Speechless, and that's saying something for me. This ball to the back post was absolutely perfect by JJ. Von Frater going to be more than frustrated, but look, he is an emotional player. He likes to get involved in things. Good momentum for him, and the opportunity to keep coming in his direction. That's what he needs to get those reps.
Well, it was a fortuitous bounce for JJ. Didier maybe took one too many touches and get caught between two Portland defenders.
I can't believe that call. Can't. Haven't seen anything like that.
As routine as possible.
I'm with you. Yeah, that's an easy one. Not whatsoever. And even at first glance, you see it live and you question for a second. When you see it come back around on the replay, it's even more apparent that that was 100% a goal.
And now Didier visibly frustrated with the refereeing, and he's at a loss right now because there's not much more he can say. He's already on a warning from Lauren Varga. And it's interesting, these two have actually gotten into it in prior games this year.
See some nice distribution coming to the back by Joey Farrell, and that's a gray area. Más o menos for some referees, they point you in one direction, sometimes they point you in other. Didier does extend himself a bit, not necessarily bridging the player, because it's all about momentum. They don't mind the challenges like that. It's when the player's coming this way and you step up underneath them. That's when the referee blows the whistle. Again, seen it go the other direction before, can't necessarily fault the referee there.
Zambrano. Abdul Salam just nods it away. And a corner coming up for Portland Timbers too, as the game's starting to open up a little bit. Both benches getting their substitutes warmed up. Coach Johnson, his staff putting the available members on the bench through the motions. The same goes for Cameron Knowles, as it'll be Loria to tee it up. Barmby has joined him. Phoenix obviously will send 2. Barmby's corner, it's a good delivery. And last touch coming off of Timbers 2. And a goal kick for Waz. And fans, tickets to the club's first ever home playoff match are now on sale. Watch Phoenix Rising in its first ever home playoff match on Friday, October 19th at 7:30 p.m. Of course, it'll be Dollar Beer Night presented by Bud Light, and the first 3,000 fans will receive a Rising Blackout t-shirt courtesy of Arizona Complete Health. Just head to phxrisingfc.com to buy your playoff tickets now.
Something so interesting when you get into those dead ball situations. As a manager, Cameron Knowles, other guys around the league, we've seen that too.
Asante. That's clever. Lambert. Johnson. JJ trying to get on his left foot again. Whips it across. Solo, it has to be! What an excellent challenge! Marco Farfan saves the day, at least for now, for T2, right at the hour mark.
Dispay had one about 20 minutes into the first half. Farfan gets this one here. The outside back, more active on the offensive side of the ball, doing such a good job positionally, maintains his composure, and as he slides right into the middle of the box, that last-ditch effort right in front of Super Solo keeps the ball out of the back of the net.
Phoenix are banging on the door. Drogba near post. Farrell stumbles, hits the ground, and a goal kick from Angels. What do they have to do?
Sometimes the magic isn't there. You don't really get that feeling. Other nights you've seen it before. You kind of felt that way versus Las Vegas Lights. I don't really think that's the case here. They're not slacking off whatsoever. Jason Johnson again. As a defender for T2, you need to be better than that because you know 99.9% of the time he's going to pull some cheeky little move, put it on the left foot, and then have a go or try and find that trailing run. That's been the book that's been read all game long, and he is making mincemeat out of this back line.
And the .01 that he actually put it on his right foot, he was able to score a goal against Las Vegas Lights FC because everybody in the building and everybody in the Valley thought Jason was going to pull it on his left foot, but cut it back to his right and able to score. But JJ seemingly growing throughout the game. The last time he was in that position, put it on frame, decided to cut it back, and it obviously opened up a world of opportunities.
Smart by JJ, because now as a defender, you're constantly second-guessing yourself.
Drogba, just out of the reach of Sante again.
Keeps him honest. It's very situational when you get into the middle of the park. You get 25, 30 yards from goal. And we've seen it in the past from the likes of Gladstone Wako, obviously Didier Drogba this even Devin Vega. Take a look up. Don't always need to progress 10, 15 yards from goal. Go ahead and have a crack and keep the goalkeeper honest. JJ doing the same thing, employing the same methods, just going after the defenders instead.
Another score update. Sacramento Republic over Las Vegas Lights, 1-0. Not great for Phoenix, but their destiny is in their control. A win and you're the 2 seed.
How about the Monarchs? Monarchs
Wow.
able to go to Chuck Chansey and get a result versus Fresno.
Whew. But at this point of the season, it almost feels like a loss. But at the end of the day, postseason is just a bunch of one-offs. If you can just get one game at a time, it really doesn't matter what you did during the regular season. Just as Jimmy Nielsen in Oklahoma City Energy FC last year, as well as Red Bulls too, as that's a foul right at the edge of the area that is not called by Laurent Varga. That was very close. And Devin, I hate to use this phrase because it shouldn't even be in the dictionary of football terms, but you might look at that as a makeup call.
That's a foul. That's a foul right at the top of the box, 100%. Devon gets very lucky. The referee does not pull the whistle on this one. His hands were all over him, took him down. He even looked over his shoulder. He knew that he got his hand caught in the cookie jar. Very lucky referee did not blow the whistle.
Dia in for Frater onside. Come on, Frater! Can't put it on frame. He's been the beneficiary of some terrific football from Phoenix, but the finishing touches continue to elude him.
This is a very, very difficult ball to hit. Frater, that massive frame, going shoulder to shoulder with the back line once again with T2, using the speed to get in behind. But as he comes across his body, he has to let the ball roll. When you put it on your left foot and you try and pick out that upper corner, you really have to get your hips across the ball. He does it, leans back a bit, pushes it right over the bar.
Red Fury and Banditos, as always, excellent with the acoustics. Johnson, Drogba, that was a terrific idea. Lambert around Loria, trying to thread the needle, but Barmby cuts it out, and looking quickly the other way for Langsdorff as Phoenix committing a lot of numbers forward, and they are exposed if they turn the ball over.
That's the same thing we saw earlier on this year when Phoenix traveled to Cascadia, took on Portland Timbers too. That ended up being a 4-1 victory for Phoenix Rising. Chris Cortez got the goal in the opening 10 minutes, but it was still 1-0 in the 65th.
Asante driving forward. Solomon Asante. Rick Schatz was not happy with that decision, or perhaps with the end result, but Solomon Asante, who's been excellent this season, can't really blame him for pulling the trigger in that fashion, but the technique wasn't necessarily there for the Ghanaian, which is rare.
Opening 15, 20 matches of the season, that was almost a foregone conclusion that would have hit the back of the net. Has not been the case for Solomon Asante recently. Even from a distribution standpoint, so many things. We really thought he was going to hit that double-double mark. Still an opportunity to, with plenty of time left. Lacking as of late, though.
Farfan. Too high for Asprilla. He got up. And Loria won't be able to keep it in play. A throw-in coming up for Phoenix. And Devin, Andy mentioned it a few moments before, but Solo getting back was a really good look for Phoenix. And since he's been going forward a lot more, there's a lot of space opening up on the left wing for T2.
Marco Farfan almost non-existent in the movement going forward for Cameron Knowles and the boys in the first half, but they definitely got him involved.
Zambrano through for Asprilla, trying to find Langsdorff, but Waz read it the entire way. Great goalkeeping.
This really is fantastic by Waz. This ball, you never know what it's going to happen as a goalkeeper. This could have easily been floated to the back post by Dairon Asprilla. That's not the case. He keeps it low on the ground. Foster Langsdorff had an excellent run right at the top of the six. Asprilla goes to ground, so does Waz. Reads it appropriately, able to collect, go the other direction.
Abdul Salam, Asante, onside, cuts it back, but nobody was there. Drogba reaches in. Careful not to get a foul and to pick up a card. Lewis, keeping the train moving for Cameron Knowles. Here's Farfan again. Barmby was just sitting on top of him. It's back for the England native. Loria. Now it's T2 asking questions. Barmby just clips it out wide for Farfan. It's a lot of consecutive passes for the visitors. Can they make something of it? Loria. Challenge put in by Lambert is a clean one, and Phoenix are off and running. It's Didier Drogba leading the charge. Drogba, the skipper, cutting it back, trying to find Vega, but it's out of his reach. I don't think it's exactly fair to say, Devin, that the final ball has been eluding Phoenix, because they've had their full chances tonight, not just half chances, but over the past couple of plays, you feel like those full chances are starting to be a little bit less threatening. As Farfan runs into a brick wall named Joey Farrell.
You can also feel T2 starting to grow in this game. You can feel them pushing a higher line. They're making Phoenix play out of the back much more. They weren't allowing them to do that before. And instead, that high pressure causing a lot of problems for Phoenix Rising coming out of the back. Didier Drogba have to question the decision a second ago. Come on, Lambert coming out of the back. Great overlapping run. Had him in support. If you're going to go, you make sure that you make that connection in the middle of the park.
And it looks like Gladson Awako is getting ready to come on for Phoenix. He will be the second substitute for Rick Schatz tonight as Corey Robertson heads over, the goalkeeping coach, to hand over the sub card to our fourth official. Lambert. Abdul Salam, he's been quiet offensively in the second half. Solo, great interplay. Solomon Asante, oh, he can't find Drogba. And we're hearing that it's going to be Devin Vega making way for the Ghanaian Gladson Awako. Just has one goal on the season, but after he came back from that suspension and the red card he picked up against the Monarchs, he has been very, very good and integral. Jason Johnson picks it off. Johnson has it on his right foot. Vega has to retrace. Solo, he's got some space. Back out for Vega. Devin Vega, good ball across, and Freighters missed it again. He simply can't buy one tonight.
What does he have to do? What does he have to do? The Jamaican. I tell you though, this is the most active all season long. Hasn't found net yet, but these are the most chances we've ever seen put in front of Kevon Frater. When you continue to feed the beast like that, it is eventually going to pay off dividends. Hasn't done it so far, but Kevon Frater has put himself in some excellent spacing spots.
And the 19-year-old from San Antonio, Devin Vega, gets a really nice round of applause, and he deserves it. He took a knock at the beginning of the game. It was a question mark whether or not he was going to continue. He gets some serious love from Rick Shantz, Blair Gavin, and the rest of the coaching staff, and he was great tonight. The substitute brought to you by Capriati Sandwich Shop. Fanatically delicious subs.
Have to give Devin Vega credit, but one other thing you need to keep an eye on, because he is so young. Rick Shantz has told us this in the past. He mentioned it very recently. Devin Vega has a tendency that when the game plan that's put in front of him doesn't necessarily go his direction, he struggles making that in-match change. He needs to start to go and trying to find the ball a bit more. You saw a lot of times that it was Didier Drogba isolated on his own, didn't really have that connection you saw in the opening 45.
One substitute remains for Rick Shantz. Cameron Knowles has not used one net. Barbie trying to curl it into space, but to no avail. Sacramento and Vegas still 1-0, approaching the 70th minute. DeFont. It was a good idea. Jason Johnson certainly appreciates it. Dia caught a late challenge. Langsdorff really frustrated. Devin Kerr thinks it should be a card. What does Lauren Varga think?
Knowing my relationship and telepathic capabilities with the referees, I'm sure I'm probably in the opposite corner on that one. Even though Langsdorff hasn't been extremely active, getting stuck in a lot, you come in pretty heavy, studs up on the defender. It's warranted. Once again, Jason Johnson. We talked about it before, 99.9% of the time. Defender gets caught up, puts it on his right foot, cuts inside, and just continues to create so many opportunities for the rest of the squad.
Abdul Salam, nice little feint, clips it in with the left foot. Too far away from any of his comrades. Loria. Langsdorff mistimed his run. Loria bodied off the ball by Kevon Lambert, but somehow able to find Jack Barmby, who eludes Gladson Awako, and now it's Andre Lewis. Zambrano. Down to play for Mangels. Hand of apology to his outside back, Marco Farfan, who's bailed him out a couple of times tonight. Awako finding Abdul Salam. Charlotte native. A couple of shakes. And Farfan again, great defending. And it's been interesting to see him tonight, Devin, really have to put it on defensively, because he's usually an outside back who loves to get forward. But he's had his hands full tonight. Alexis Solomon Asante, Didier Drogba, and Jason Johnson running at you. Drogba gets a touch to it. JJ trying to bring it down. The bicycle kicked attempt. Not there. I guess acrobatic finishes for JJ are only good for the other side of the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex.
Like some of the gamesmanship by Kevon Frater when he gets done. Comes over the end line, couldn't get to it, picks the ball up, and then gladly walks it over. Alex Mangel's on the other side of the goal, just knocks it down for him. One thing you got to keep an eye on in the middle of the park for Phoenix Rising and Rick Schantz is his ability to make a lot of tactical changes coming down the stretch. Because of the injuries he's been dealt, it's hard to do.
Asprilla. Barmby back for Asprilla. Thought about hitting it, and as a result has it taken away by Gladson Awako. One too many touches from the Colombian. Awako fouled.
And because Chris Cortez going down, James Musa most recently, the two of them out of the lineup. Hoping Chris Cortez was just precautionary, they can get him back in, but you take a look at the bench. Offensively in the middle of the field, things start to fade a bit. Really only had the option of Gladson Awako, who's more than capable of getting the task done. Rick Schantz in the past has had many more. That's a late challenge on Solomon Asante.
Well, he sort of just got caught up with Marco Farfan. And as much as both teams want to try to get the 3 points and be able to shore up their playoff position or better it.
Get a better look and you see exactly what went on. Asante gets that one touch and two just following through. Actually thought it was a foul. That's not the case. Marco Farfan reading it more than appropriately.
Last thing either Cameron Knowles or Rick Schantz need is a injury to a key player, any player for that matter, or heading into the postseason. A healthy squad is something that is usually out of the hands of everybody involved at the organization. Sometimes it's just down to lady luck, but Cameron Knowles having a conversation with the fourth official, as it'll be an old-fashioned drop ball. Didier comes away with it. Lambert gets caught up, and the foul against T2. Or rather a handball.
Same, but different.
Both a free kick in the end.
We're all friends here. We help each other.
ELE. Sometimes.
ELE.
Yeah, whatever. A lot of numbers going forward for Phoenix Rising now. Didier on top of it. This is probably just out of striking distance for him. Good ball in, and Mangels picks it out of the sky as Frater probably was not necessary for him to put a hand on Mangels, who was trying to spark the counterattack the other way with distribution. But it ends up him getting the talking to because Devin, as I'm sure you know all too well, it's always the second one, the retaliation that's caught, never the first one.
Unfortunately, I've been involved in that many a time. Although verbal atrocities tended to frequent my career as well. Not that that's changed at all. At least now I'm up here, I can get away with it, yeah?
You get away with it, and you'll apologize at the back end of it, because you'll know as it's coming out of your mouth that you were wrong. But
with all due respect.
Yeah, with all due respect. Augustine Williams getting set to come on. Pacey number 9, who technically wears number 80. Drogba, Asante, offside. And Solo having a good laugh about that because he thinks he was stationed directly next to Modou Jadama. And it's going to be Foster Langsdorff coming off, and Augustine Williams will come on. Devin, Langsdorff, really not his night, but it was a different type of performance that Cameron Knowles needed.
Body language, he looks defeated. You can see manager giving him a bit of praise, but Foster Langsdorff not really finding that midseason form where we saw him Similar to what Solomon Asante did earlier this year, consistently finding the back of the net, always getting involved in the run of play. That's on one side. And the other side of things is, got to give credit to the Phoenix back line. Now you wonder what's going to happen. Augustine Williams is some sort of talent, and you pair him, and there's so much offensive talent, much like Phoenix Rising for this T2 squad. A lot of times you'll see Loria and Williams kind of drift in and out, with Loria jumping up top, Williams in behind.
And that substitute brought to you by Capriotti Sandwich Shop, fanatically delicious subs. Dia. Amadou Dia. A couple of step overs. JJ wants it on his left. Everybody knows it, but can you stop it? JJ. Solo the header. Got enough power on it, but it was always going to be difficult in the end. And Devin, with all the movement that's been going on around the Western Conference tonight, if the result holds, it'll be Cameron Knowles and Portland Timbers 2 traveling once again to the Valley of the Sun for the first round of the playoffs. And sometimes that's just how it goes, but what a complete turnaround it was from a year ago, where Portland Timbers 2 were a side that Phoenix were hoping they could put 8 or 9 goals in against, as they were trying to duke it out with Swope Park Rangers in the goal differential department once again. And a lot of people thought it might be realistic with how Portland had played throughout the 2017 season, as Williams somehow gets it in front of him. Augustine Williams gets the shot off, and Waz hangs on to it. And despite the fact it comes to nothing, just the simple idea that Williams could get the ball in a position to make a move was incredible.
How amazing was that? Native from Sierra Leone, just one touch after another. It's exactly what he can bring. You wonder exactly, coming down the stretch, does Rick Schantz have another trick in the book? What's he gonna do? Phoenix have gone a bit flat offensively. It's been a lot of individual movement by the Rising, not the collective play we saw in the first half.
Owako, oh, Frater knotted it down. He probably could have chested it down. As it looks like Shaft Brewer is getting ready to come on, and we're hearing that it's Kevon Frater coming off, so Didier will go the length. Loria digs it over the top, offside. Lines are starting to become a bit higher, Devin. There's a lot of space opening up. And now Shaft Brewer getting set to go. Teenage speedster who's on loan from LAFC, looking to have his big Phoenix moment. And Kevon Frater, despite the fact that he missed a multitude of sitters, Devin, this was the most active we have seen him the entire night.
Best performance all year long, bar none. Fantastic from Kevon Frater, and you could see his frustration coming off the pitch, slapping his hands. He knew that he wasn't able to get what he wanted to and put one in the back of the net, but again, he continued to push, apply that pressure, not just on his own, but giving other opportunities to the boys up top.
And the substitute, of course, brought to you by our friends and Devin's friends over at Capriotti Sandwich Shop, fanatically delicious subs. Why don't you tell the fine folks at home, what was the order? It sounded delicious, and it looked great. Wow, if you can't remember it now.
I can't remember. It's making me hungry. I didn't have dinner. I didn't eat before.
Capastrami?
There we go.
That's what it was.
I'm getting a bit hangry, you know? The bread, the way the flavors blended together. Whew.
Poetry in motion, huh?
Fantastic. Gotta give him credit.
Shaft Brewer cutting inside. Didier Drogba. Didn't see Andre Lewis. Lambert does well to win it back. Just doing his job in the middle of the field. Dia looking for Didier. And the challenge from Dodama was an important one. Number 11 was right on the doorstep, and Didier wants the crowd to get involved a little bit more. About 8 minutes remaining. A number 2 seed on the line in the regular season finale. Asante on the corner kick, brought to you by Carvana. Asante. Defont over for Dia. Back from where it came, it's Solo. Asante towards the byline. Solo, another move. Was it a penalty? The referee says no, and Rick Schantz is livid. And he's barking out the fourth official all game.
Each and every staff member on the Phoenix Rising bench just came out beyond frustrated that they get a no call here. You get another look exactly what went on. Looks like there's a tiny bit of contact on the trailing run, but he's already stopped the movement. Solo drags his foot a bit. He does. He drags his foot to allow himself to get caught in that tackle. It's a good call by the referee.
Well, Phoenix will have to continue to wait. Defont. Didier. Drogba. He'll be the first to tell you it wasn't his best delivery. And Farrell will just have to get rid of it. Waz wasn't sure whether to come out and decided to commit to it, and Farrell did well. Barmby, great ball in. Williams, it's over the line and in for T2. The visitors in the 85th minute, and it's the substitute, Augustine Williams. What a turn of events with Phoenix knocking on the door virtually the entire night. And a side that couldn't even sniff the postseason in 2017, well on their way to the playoffs in 2018, and are capping off the regular season in spectacular fashion.
This all starts from the quick restart on the throw-in on the near touchline. Phoenix visibly frustrated on the no call on one end. When it comes back the other direction, it was a two-man game the entire time. Quick throw-in by Williams. Barmby to Williams. Williams gives it right back to Barmby, and then, like we saw in the first half, fun little two-man game. Let's go have some fun. Triangular play right at the top of the box. Barmby floats a great ball in, and the slippery man from Sierra Leone able to bury it in the back of the net.
Unbelievable stuff from T2. And a lot of the fans here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex going to find the exits, but the good news for them is that they will live to fight another day despite the result tonight. First ever playoff match for Phoenix Rising FC will be October 19th. Shaft Brewer trying to get forward. And Phoenix throughout the course of this season have had a flair for the dramatics, especially at home. Think back to the Swope Park Rangers game where Carlton Belmar scored 2 goals in the second half to take a 2-1 lead, and Asante equalized late in the 90th. This team can score in bunches, but it's been the scoring part, the first of that, that's eluded them as of late. And Devin, it's the same old story, at least for the past few weeks, where if you don't convert those early chances or even the late chances that we've seen, you let these young teams hang around. Bad things not only can happen, but seemingly have been happening to Phoenix. And Didier Drogba not happy whatsoever with the fact that it looks like Andre Lewis has just gone down, and now a lot of time wasting going on, pushing and shoving starting to take place as well. Amadou Dia in the mix of it, as well as Saad Abdul Salam.
Interesting move by Jason Johnson, just running over to the far touchline, having a word with the ball boys, and you can see the distribution has been a bit slow. So he's going over, say, listen, we don't have a lot of time left. Each and every time we get down here, you got to make sure you're throwing the balls in quick. It's the little things like that you don't necessarily see behind the scenes. And this is just Cameron Knowles trying to figure out a way to see if he can get out of here unscathed and steal 3 points from Phoenix Rising. Max Ornstill, they use him all over the pitch. They've used him up top and in the middle. He'll sit in the 6. They can use him on the back line.
And Andre Lewis will come off to not exactly a standing ovation from the Phoenix Rising faithful. On comes Ornstill, and the substitute brought to you by Capriati Sandwich Shop. Fanatically delicious subs.
With that substitution, expect him to tuck right alongside Zebrano in front of Dispe. Jadama, they've been fantastic.
And now the offside flag is up. Corey Robertson, the goalkeeping coach, dangerously close to the assistant referee on the near side, but some of these calls tonight, Devin, I guess confusing is a good word.
That's one way to do it, I guess. Everybody frustrated. They feel that Didier Drogba is too close to the run of play, but when you've got a goalkeeper standing right there, it's not like he's going to get stuck in. He's not standing in front of him. I understand it, but as a referee, just go over, impede the movement a bit and let him know he needs to move along.
So Drogba issued a yellow card. Up for the header and is called offside again. And Devin, at this point, it's becoming ridiculous because Didier was 2 steps in front of the defender.
He's in front of the defender. They're actually blowing this on Jason Johnson on the ball that comes off of Didier, the second chance.
But the flag was up before he even touched it.
It is questionable by the nearsighted referee. It all started with the Kevon Frater goal. That was 100% a goal. And it has only gotten worse as the match has gone on. You'd like to say it's been equally inconsistent on both sides of the ball for both teams. That hasn't been the case. Phoenix Rising definitely on the short end of the stick.
Well, as it stands, it'll be Phoenix in the 3 seed. Long ball sent ahead. Didier up for it. Abdul Salam. Asante. Solo fakes it, creating some space. Asante still with it. Ran out of room. Abdul Salam trying to win it back, does so cleanly. Drives it in, and Mangels hangs on to it. 4 minutes of stoppage time to be had at this one.
Marvin Loria wasn't happy with the no call on him, but it was a great challenge by Saad Abdul Salam. Experienced MLS player, just getting stuck in, takes one touch, look up into the box. Nice 50-50 ball between the boys.
And now it's going to be called against Asprilla. Diaz sends it away. Drogba nods it along. Was there a foul from behind? There's no call. Joseph Farrell went down and now sprinting back into position. Is there anything in that for you?
It's foul. It's a foul.
Right. The center back is not exactly skilled in the art of simulation.
I might have something to say about that.
Time running out on Phoenix. About 90 seconds remaining. Drogba. Can't find Jason Johnson. It'll stay with the home side, though. Jadama finding Loria. He's onside. Marvin Loria. Around Farrell. Loria can't beat Waz. What a save. Williams, the goal scorer, working on Kevon Lambert. It's a good way to find Drogba. Asante getting forward. Didier trying to curl it into the path of JJ. Almost got all the way through, an important touch. And last touch is off of T2. And a corner kick coming up for Phoenix at the death. Drogba. Still with it, trying to create. Another corner kick coming up. Can Phoenix steal it? The crowd rises as one at the complex. Asante nodded away, and that might do it. One last chance. Amadou Dia towards the back post. It's Defont. And he made a mess of it. Another corner. Asante again. Drogba, it's loose in front. Lambert. Phoenix still have it. Awako. Out wide for Shaft Brewer. Back in. Johnson was teeing it up. Farrell going in for the header.
Oh my.
Contact, no foul called, and it's a call against Phoenix. Story of the night.
You have to wonder, how do you not? Joey Farrell gets ripped to the ground here. JJ tries to go for the bike. Great look right there. Blatantly, 100% pulled to the match floor. That is a penalty. You need to point to the spot. The referee lost control of this game a long time ago. T2 on the offensive end have not shied away from the challenge. They've continued to try and push the envelope and give themselves an opportunity, but they have not done themselves any favors on the defensive side of the ball.
They've certainly got away with a lot. Checking the watch from Laurent Varga. That's going to do it full time. T2 hang on for an incredible win. The crowd lets referee Laurent Varga know exactly how they feel. There were a couple of controversial calls, to say the least. But credit to Portland Timbers 2 and Cameron Knowles, who finish off the regular season in spectacular fashion. It'll be Phoenix in the 3 seed. And Portland Timbers 2 as it stands in the 6. So, it'll be a rematch, or at least for the moment. We're headed to the break, the final break, and the final score, T2 1, Phoenix 0.
Worried about your kids' health care? Sick of doctor's offices with no appointments available? Let Happy Kids Pediatrics help. Our hand-picked staff is carefully cultivated to provide professional and compassionate care when your child needs it. Plus, we happily accept access, private insurance, and even offer special pricing for patients with no health insurance. With over 18 years providing quality health care to Valley children in our convenient Valley-wide locations, you can trust your child's health care to Happy Kids Pediatrics.
If you just sign that first
I'm
one
so
there.
sorry. I don't feel comfortable signing that.
I don't get the math here.
Was this the same car we talked about?
What's this dealer preparation fee?
I'm so sorry. This just is not.
What we talked about.
Get the car without the car salesman. Carvana, the new way to buy a car.
Phoenix Rising FC está en los playoffs y está luchando por la Copa USL. Acompáñanos en el complejo futbolístico del Phoenix Rising en Scottsdale y sé parte de la emoción mientras el equipo hace historia. Mira al Phoenix Rising ser el anfitrión de su primer partido de los playoffs, viernes 19 de octubre a las 7:30 p.m. Para el especial de cervezas de $1 y los playoffs, obtén tus boletos en phxrisingfc.com. Phoenix Rising FC, nos elevamos unidos.
Unbelievable scenes here at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. Even though it's not the way they wanted to finish off the regular season, Didier, in classic Didier Drogba fashion, is always going to thank the supporters for coming out. And we just got official word, Sacramento and Las Vegas is full time. And Sac Republic will be the 2 seed, Phoenix will be the 3, Portland Timbers 2 will be the 6. And we will do this all over again a week from yesterday, Devin, on October 19th, right here in the Valley of the Sun. Tyler Terrence, along with Devin Kerr, the former German pro. And, you know, while there were some controversial calls from the referee, there was a lot that went on. This was a spectacular match of football. We'll take you down the road of how it all went down. And really, it's another story of Phoenix not taking advantage of the opportunities at hand, and you just hope that they're able to put something in the back of the net early on come Friday.
That's going to be the biggest takeaway. Let's track back 2 matches. You look at Reno. Reno, you saw some stuff on the offensive side of the ball. Definitely should have finished that game out. But even the defensive tactics were a bit touch and go. Last match versus Las Vegas, you see offensive again can't close out. The defense, I get it. It goes awry. Shots make 10s changes, but it was just absolutely terrible. When you step onto the pitch, you need to do a better job. That wasn't the case tonight. Credit to T2 for coming in. They had a couple chances. They were able to get the 1 goal, but Phoenix did not back down. They continuously started to counterpunch, go the other direction, putting themselves in those opportunities. If they couldn't do it in training and they couldn't do it on the match, you'd think Rick Schantz has a problem. He does not. They have to find a way to close it out. And just unfortunately tonight, it wasn't that the magic wasn't there. The variables at play, everything just kind of felt like it was the perfect storm to take them down. T2 took full advantage of it.
And as you can see, there were just so many chances for Phoenix. I mean, our crew has a tough time putting these packages together in games like this because you can't choose which chances to roll in this highlight reel. But, I mean, this is a terrific ball in from Barbie, and Williams does just enough, and he actually does get hit right at the end of it. It's great balance. It's great composure to be able to knot it home. Not much Waz can do. It's great technique.
Again, it was the kick play. Everything came from the sideline, playing quick. Barbie to Williams, Williams back to Barbie, and then he just drifted back in. Super sub, fantastic finish.
And a look at the Western Conference standings. This obviously not official because Swope Park still needs to play Los Dos tomorrow afternoon. But this is set, Devin. Phoenix, T2. There's no way that it can change now that Sacramento is full-time with Las Vegas. Credit where credit is due. Phoenix, in the last 3 games of the season, not able to garner a point. And you just hope that this is yet another humbling moment and they could turn it around when it's just really one game and see if you can get it done.
What you're seeing right now in the Western Conference, the top 7, they're in. Placing on 7 and 8 can shift, but top 7 are in. Swope Park Rangers got to go out. Phoenix Rising need to keep their heads held high. T2 grabbing some momentum going into the playoff. Rick Schantz needs to tell his boys to carry that momentum. Should be proud of his squad.
Well, as fate would have it, this simply just chapter 1 between Phoenix and Portland Timbers 2 in the month of October, as Didier Drogba and the rest of the boys in red and black will try to refuel and revitalize a side that's been incredible all season long. It's on to the postseason for our entire crew. My broadcast partner, Devin Kerr, I'm Tyler Terrence, saying so long for now. We will see you Friday, October 19th. Phoenix and T2 will run it one more time in 2018 and for a right to move on to the Western Conference semifinals.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.